What's up, everybody? Tim the Collector here on another new comic book day, 3/6/2019. All right, excuse me, we're going to get right into it. We have Doomsday Clock, number 9 of 12. Pretty sweet covers. True story, I have picked up every issue of this so far, and I have not read any. I'm waiting until I have all 12 in my hands, and I'm going to run through them all. I'm going to binge read these things because there's too much time in between them, and I'll forget what's going on. So, obviously, we got Jeff Johns and Gary Frank. This is supposed to be the most shocking chapter yet. The DC Universe collides with its greatest threat, Dr. Manhattan. But nothing is hidden from Manhattan, and the secrets of the past, present, and future will rock the very foundations of the DC Universe. Sounds good. Sounds good. I can't wait to get into that one. That's going to be a good time. Hopefully, because like I said, I haven't read any of it. So next up, you've got, I stopped buying this one, but there's, I think there's a first appearance in this. Justice League 19. First future Superman, maybe? And the B cover is so horrible that it's good. It's so bad it's good. You got some live field goodness on Justice League 19. You know, Wonder Woman is looking pretty brutish. Batman looks like he's got, I don't know what's going on with his mouth. Superman looks like he just... none of them look good. It's bad. It's bad. So anyway, at last, the Justice League has a map to the 6th dimension in hand. And with it, they have the key to save the multiverse from utter destruction. Tune in. Check that one out if you're following Justice League. I got it because it's a first appearance, and I had to have that live field cover. They're so miserably bad, you gotta love them. And not everyone's that way. I tend to think he draws this stuff this way on purpose now. Like, you can't have gotten worse at drawing covers, right? You have to have gotten better after doing it for so long. You can't have gotten worse. It's just got to be his thing now, right? Avengers number 16. I said I generally don't buy Avengers, but I have been buying like the last 3 or 4 probably now. We got Blade on the cover. Welcome to the Avengers Blade. Hope you survive the experience. Plenty of vampires out there to slay, so check that one out. It looks pretty cool. This next one, I haven't seen this one in my local, maybe but one other time, and so it's Immortal Hulk, number 14. I know this one was like a key on some people's lists this week. I don't know why. You know, Betty Ross is going through, Betsy Ross, yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't it? Betty Ross is going through a lot. She's having a family crisis. Her employers won't pick up the phone, and at her door is the husband she thought was dead. But Bruce Banner hasn't come alone. Bum bum. He's brought the Immortal Hulk. Yeah, that sounds not really like a key so much, so I guess we'll see. I'm not super excited. These little sideways covers of Harley Quinn, I had to get that one. It's just hard for me not to buy these Harley Quinns right now. These covers are just, they're pretty awesome. I don't know. This one, I really don't know what this one's about. I'm just gonna punt on that one, right? So, Deadpool number 10. I don't usually buy Deadpool, but here I am. It's a pretty cool cover. I believe it's a first full appearance. So I think he showed up in Deadpool number 1. The Deadly Good Night is taking care of Deadpool's merc jobs before he gets to them. Kind of like that story, The Elves and the Shoemaker, but a horrifying, violent nightmare. Deadpool's got a plan, though, and he's definitely thought it through, for sure, no questions. Alright, so Again, he showed up in issue number 1, and now we're seeing him again in issue number 10. So this would be first full appearance. Next up, Conan the Barbarian, number 4. A hard-fought life has rewarded Conan with the crown, but even a monarch must face the cold embrace of death. The legendary adventure continues as the Crimson Witch makes good on her threat to King Conan. I'm loving this series. It's been a really good read so far. It takes me back as a kid. I had like 2 or 3 copies of Conan books that you get at the flea market, and they were just wore out. So, they're pretty good. They're not bad. Next up, Avengers No Road Home. 2 covers. I picked up both covers, the A and the B cover. I think I like the variant cover this week. Hercules is really front and center in this story, so that's interesting. Who was the Queen of Night? Who brought Nyx to wage war on the gods themselves? Witness the origin of the Avengers' latest, greatest foe. So it is the origin of, I don't know if it's Nyx or if they just call it NYX, what it is. I'll say it's Nyx. So feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, because as I've said before, it's at least half the time right. So at least I know where I stand with that. Champions number 3. I think there's a first in this. I don't know for certain though. But I've been following this Champions book since they relaunched it. It's cool. If you've seen any of my past videos, you kind of know where I stand on that. I think there's a lot of potential for a lot of these characters. So pick that one up. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You're missing out if you're not reading it. So, next up, never bought these Black Hammer books. Black Hammer 45. You got Jeff Lemire on that. From the World of Black Hammer is a World War II era story about a golden age of superheroes with Lemire's signature hammer twist. Lemire will co-write the book with Ray Fawkes, One Soul, Batman Eternal, and Matt Kindle. So, Matt Kint, excuse me. I don't know much about this book. I hear good things about the Black Hammer stories, so I thought I'd pick one up and give it a shot. It's a cool cover. I like how it's retro. All these covers with this red, like the old school Marvel, I'm a sucker for those. I love that. That's awesome. We're going to move these out of the way because we're getting quite the stack here. I don't want to tip them over. This one I've been waiting on. This one's a cool book. I love this cover, you know. Domino Hot Shots, #1, dazzling debut issue. Bully, Brawler, Mercenary Spies, the Marvel Universe's hottest team is here. Domino and her pals, Outlaw and Diamondback, are caught between warring nations, and it takes a whole new crew of international women of mystery to sort it out. It's got that New Mutants 98 vibe to it, the look of the cover, but with the females, Domino front and center. It's a hot book. I don't know if it's going to be a hot book, but to me it's a hot book. It looks pretty sweet. I like it. So check that one out. Self-Made #4. Up next, we're getting into some of our independents now, folks. Self-Made #4. This has been a really good series. So much so that I end up buying this through Discount Comic Book Service, and then I still just buy it at my local comic book shop. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm out of control. Yeah, the ta-da moment. Kamala has made it to our world, and she is distinctly unimpressed. What's a girl with a new robot body and some pent-up rage to do? Paint the town red. So I'm not giving anything away with that little description. I've tried not to do that with this book previously, but now reading that description, I want to read it even more. So if you're not reading this, you're missing out. Image Comics, if you're not reading Image Comics, great storylines. A lot of great storylines. This next one, the major cities of the 19th century, Japan, Korea, and China,